I can't speak it any better than this gentleman just spoke it. In reviewing the analysis of the revenue stream at this hotel for the previous 10 years, you pretty well saw a flat level of business. And then about the very end of '09, little in 10, and then by the end of 10, we started seeing an increase in room nights. Now, I'm a hotel general manager. I make money for the ownership selling hotel rooms. This economy has been stagnant for half a generation now. Now all of a sudden there's activity in this county, and we're seeing room nights from companies like Halliburton, Calfrac, Baker Hughes, so on and so forth. Now, what we saw in this fiscal year, 2011, was a significant boost in revenues from these companies. Now, I judge this a couple different ways. Halliburton might call us and say, we want 40 rooms for 60 days at whatever dollars. Well, a calculator tells me the revenue. We had many of those during the course of the year. Then we have a lot of speculators, developers, legal people who make a reservation through 1-800-HOLIDAY, pay top rate to stay with me. And I can't really define those, except for when we search our parking lot, we find license plates from Oklahoma, West Virginia, Ohio, et cetera, and we see trucks with names like Schlumberger and things of that nature. Now, some of these companies don't have accounts with us, but they're staying with us. Now, all of a sudden, the ownership of this hotel, who has struggled, he had to renovate the hotel, and he's been flat. He actually went down during the recession, like we all did, '08. And it was a struggle, and all of a sudden, he had to renovate in the middle of that, and now he's got to pay for that, and all of a sudden, there's activity at this hotel again. It's busy. All of a sudden, I believe we had the strongest month every month than we ever did at this hotel, and that was due to the gas industry. Pure and simple. Rooms that if this industry wasn't in this part of the country, we'd still be flat, struggling to pay the taxes and the mortgages. Now, also, what occurs when my business levels rise? I need to hire more employees to facilitate the operation. More salespeople, more housekeepers, more front desk, more engineers to keep the building up because it's used more. All of a sudden, my payroll is up significantly, as are my revenues. These people live in Binghamton. They certainly live in Broome County, and I kind of don't want to get into the political side of it and want to stay with the business side of it. But for the life of me, this move, as a businessman, the city is taking on, makes absolutely no sense at all. Now, we have a lot of people who are working right across the border who are staying here. Now, let's say because of a negative image of Binghamton, companies like Halliburton, Calfrac, Baker Hughes, well, why would we want to spend our money there when we can spend it elsewhere in communities that welcome us? So, from my vantage point, and I speak for the owner as far as this is concerned, this money, I budgeted about 20% of my revenues next year based on this revenue continuing. That's what happened this year. It's going to continue next year, unless we work to try to change it. And I would think we'd be rather welcoming this business than being a negative to it. So from the hotel's point of view, we need this revenue. We have budgeted for it. We have told the banks we're getting it. And to think all of a sudden now we're not going to get it, I'll tell you what will happen here. I'll let people go. I'll have to. I'll let salespeople go, housekeepers go, maintenance workers go. You'll lose jobs. They'll go back into the community collecting unemployment. And like this gentleman said, it's absurd. But staying away from politics, importance and significance of the gas industry on this hotel and my job has been enormous, and we see that for the next 10 years. So, thank you.